Good evening and welcome back to Russell Does Stuff. Sun's setting low in the horizon. It's probably about 7:08 or something. And I thought I would share with all of you guys out there how my day went. Sales have been pretty good. Russell has a hustle. And I'm reselling things. And I sold the air compressor today. A young adult who has been training for about a year and a half on how to do paint and body work. Wants to sharpen his skills and do paint and body work at his house when he's done with his full-time job, and I commended him for that. He came over here and he walked around a couple of my projects, and I noticed one trait that he picked up as he touched the paint with his hands. When you're in the cabinet business or paint and body shop business, your eyes are your hands. You can tell a lot by touching the surface of cabinets and cars. You can tell a lot. You can get a lot of information through your hands on what type of quality work you've done or has been done on a particular cabinet or vehicle. So I'm having one of Steve's step twos here at the end of the evening, sucking on a nice cold one. Got my dogs with me. And don't ever celebrate your successes. Did pretty good with sales the last couple days. And I learned a long time ago is you never celebrate your successes. It's like yesterday's home runs don't win today's ball games. Your brain is like a problem-solving computer, and you can get stuck on the thoughts and memories of the last sale that you did. What you should be doing is focusing on the next sale. What should I be listing and posting and cleaning up and getting ready to list? I've listed one of those Toros in there, and I'm already on to the next sale. In my mind, I'm gonna make or replace the battery box on that mower so it takes better photos. Somebody wrapped a bunch of rope around the battery and it doesn't photograph well. So never celebrate your successes. Ever. I remember when I was young and I was salesman of the year or salesman of the month. Well, I was salesman of the month a few times, salesman of the year or whatever. And sales manager, calls your name out during a sales meeting and has a few accolades he wants to rain down on you. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't want everybody in the sales department to know that I was doing good, because then they're gunning for you, So, and then when you have a couple slow months, you were doing good a couple months ago. What happened? So I don't like to draw that kind of attention to myself, In the lawn business or in a service business, money follows attention. And if you're out working and you're being responsible and you can radiate that, people will walk up to you and say, "Hey, I can I talk to you when you're done? I'd like you to look at my property and tell me what you think, and and then you go into problem solving mode. Then you start thinking, what are some questions to ask the customer to find out what's going on? Are they happy with the service they got now, or is it too expensive, or whatever? Sometimes you get pushback from customers like that during an estimate. They won't give you any information. Then you gotta get out your pickaxe and start chipping away and trying to get information. I had a property management company I worked for, and she would send me on all sorts of estimates, and I never got any of the estimates. And I worked for her. I said, Andrea, I said, what's going on? I don't get any of these estimates I'm running. What's up? She goes, well, the customers don't like your prices and stuff. And I said, this you're wasting hundreds of my dollars, by sending me out on these estimates. Can you tell me a little bit about what the customer's looking for? Can you give me some insight? Because normally those estimates, I'm not dealing with the homeowner. I'm dealing with the property manager. The more money that she can save the homeowner or charge the homeowner, they'll make more money, and there's not commission. They get so much of a percentage of the rent for managing the house, and if they send the AC guy out and the bill's $365, they get paid a percentage over that for setting up the repair and stuff. So I told her, look, I'm not running any more of your estimates, which put her in a spot. I was reliable. I ran all her estimates and she knew it. I said, I'm not running your estimates anymore. She wanted to know why. I said, I don't get any of them. I said, that's got to change. I said, what does that lady want to pay a month for maintenance? You need to start telling me where I need to be so I can start getting some of these accounts. And she called me back a few days later and said, all right, I'm going to send you to a couple estimates for some of my customers, and this is what they were paying. And the last guy isn't showing up. I said, I'll go in and assess the situation. If it's a little bit more, I'll give you a price for that. And if I can do it for what they were charging and a little less, I'll let you know. So I built up a relationship with this customer that I had in the property management business. For 8 years, we had an understanding. Sometimes they saved her money, which put more money in her pocket. Sometimes I charged a little more, which put more money in her pocket. But I ended up getting the estimates, which grew the business. So, no's in the dictionary. And don't ever be afraid to say no. I'm going to get back to finishing this beer, and I'm not going to celebrate my sales today, because that's in the past. Thanks for stopping by my channel. My name's Russell. I'm an entrepreneur. I've owned about 12 businesses. I've retired down to about 18 or so hours a week. Monday, half a day. Tuesday, half a day. Wednesdays if needed. And if you're just passing by and this is not your thing, I appreciate it. And if this is something you like and you want to support the channel, like and subscribe. That helps out a lot. And we'll see you on the next one.